All right, Athena, welcome back to phase 3. We made it. Um, we went through boot camp, shared us your experiences there. You talked to us a little bit about your experiences in the fleet, obviously MOS school, the two schooling that you went through. And those two particular incidents that are fairly traumatic, at least in my saying, and I know you and I spoke about it, you shared with me um, the aftermath, the effects that and how it carries its weight on your shoulders that you that you live with today. So this phase is all about talking your um, moving back into civilian life after leaving the the service and how you cope and you deal with the injuries that you've sustained from your back, how you live with that, any secondary injuries that may have resulted of that. I know you shared with me you currently have some VA service connected injuries that the VA has already rated you for.
Yes.
But there's obviously other stuff that we're going to try to see how we can help you out and get you squared away. But let's kind of start there. Tell us about you got back from the Straits of Hormuz. You unfortunately had to deal with a shipmate um, jumping overboard and taking their own life because of something they felt they couldn't handle. Who knows what it was, but everybody makes their choices, unfortunately. And then you guys were all searching for him. And I didn't ask if you guys found him or not, but
I believe a few months later, I think Air Force or someone had found like remnants, like his I think out of his coveralls or something. They found something of it, like
holy shit,
clothing wise.
that's crazy. That is just crazy. I'm sorry you had to go through that. But yeah, let's talk about you wrapping all that up. I believe you had another baby soon after, and then you had to make a career choice
Yes.
or a motherly choice. I believe I don't know how.
And that's what it was. That's what it was. It was
right?
family or staying in the fleet.
Family or staying in the fleet, knowing that you may be deployed again, or you may have to be sent somewhere, and the challenges of being a single mother, maybe, right?
Yes.
Or just a military parent. It's not easy.
No, it's
right?
not.
The only military folks get deployed and they leave their kids behind somewhere, and it's not easy. So, walk us through your now a mother of two, ending your career in the Navy and moving into the civilian world again. What was that like for you?
Well, it was a tough decision to figure out because when they had cut me orders, they cut me orders to Japan as a single parent.
Back to Japan.
Back to Japan. I think this time I was going to be in Yokosuka.
Okay.
And I was like, what am I supposed to do with my children while I'm deployed? I already have a family care plan. You see, I'm a single parent who takes care of my kids in Japan.
Sure.
So I made the decision, I'm done, I'm getting out.
Okay.
I got to go home. I don't know what else to do. Who's going to watch the kids? So I decided to come home.
I'm sure that was a stressful moment for you making that decision. And you had already been in the Navy for how long now?
I believe at that point it was 10 years, and I was like about 4 more months that I did. Then I did get out.
I was probably going to be a lifer.
I was at the halfway mark. Yeah.
Holy shit, man! That's
my decision. What I wanted to stay in until the end. Yeah. Stay in for the 20 years and get out. Have kids towards the end. Sure. But obviously that didn't happen. So
that's okay. We all get it.
Shit happens.
Yeah, no, they're two good boys. I've got a chance to meet them, and they're two good boys. And your youngest obviously goes to school with my son, and
yes,
he's a lot of fun. He's a lot of fun. So you're transitioning to civilian world. You got your two kids. You made a tough decision because it was clear and evident that your goal was to be a lifer, as they say, yep. Right? But you made a decision. You go back to civilian world, and you're dealing with back issues, right? You've had your inflammation. You had your vitamin M that you were taking, right?
Good old vitamin M.
You had experienced a couple traumatic situations that we kind of briefly hit up again on this part. What's life like? What was it like getting back in and dealing with that stuff?
It was a transition. You're so used to this schedule that they keep you on. You got to be everywhere 15 minutes early. If you're on time, you're late. It's a lot. It's really hard, especially now. The kids, hey, we have to be here at this time. Okay. Luckily, my older son is used to it from marching band. Okay. He knows if you're on time, you're late, or if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. If you're late, don't even bother showing up. Yeah. So he's used to it now, to where sometimes it's like, Mason, hurry up! Like, we need to get out this door. What's taking you so long? Like, come on.
Sure. So it sounds to me like you're carrying some of the disciplines and traits that were brought onto or you learned within the military, and you're putting it within your ways of managing and leading your family.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
definitely.
it's very common. You're not the only one. So feel good about that. You're not the only one that lives that way, following the military, right? Um, in terms of your issues with the VA, and I don't want to say issues. You've been service connected, leaving the military, and I know as you and I spoke, the education is one of the things that I believe this channel is going to be all about. You had your boys. How old were they when you finally realized that you can add them to your benefits?
16 and 13.
16 and 13. Yeah.
And that's the current ages they are now. I had no idea that. I figured that if they were on my page too. They were my dependents through my whole military career. It's automatically going to follow through.
Yeah.
And I had no idea that they had to be manually added.
And so that was an assumption that you, and I would imagine how many other veterans who had no clue about it, they leave, they make the assumption, because again, a lot of us don't know. We think they're looking after us, but quite frankly, it doesn't always take place like we believe it is, right? So the good thing is now that you are able to add your boys on there, and even it'll only be until their age of 18, and I hope that they go to college, because it continues to them through college until they're age 22.
Yeah.
And every cent will help, especially as a single mother, right? And it's good, but I hope your story here kind of helps other single parents, male, female, that were in the service that may not know it. They may even spark the question, oh shit, let me check, right?
Yeah, definitely. Because it's not something, especially when you're doing everything online, you don't have someone in front of you telling you, hey, do this, do that.
Right.
Because I feel like they give you a class you have to go to when you get out.
Okay.
They call it the TAPS class, or transitioning, the transition assistance program.
Okay.
Well, when I went through it, it was snowing. So some of our classes got canceled, and they didn't reschedule it.
Oh wow.
They just, I think it was one day they shut the base down, and they just jam-packed everything into the following day.
They crammed it.
And there's a lot of missed information
Okay.
that we didn't even do, because you're supposed to do the interview process where you dress up like you're going to a job interview. We didn't even do that part. So I don't know how much other stuff we missed.
Sure.
To even know, are we supposed to add? I don't even remember if they went over applying for disability.
Okay.
You have to add your dependents on there too.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't know how that works, but I know when I came out with an injury, I was rated 0, and I thought that was it. I left and I had no clue. And then again, I was in the mindset, I was like, I don't need to be, but I thought I was a man of steel when I was in my 20s, right? And as I got older, the pain started coming, those started happening. So talk to me about some of those. How have you progressed with your back? I know you had the injuries. You treated it with the vitamin M.
Yep.
What sort of treatments do you do now to kind of maintain your back spasms or your back pains, whatever you deal with?
Well, sometimes more hot, laying a hot bath to try to loosen everything back
Loosen
up.
everything up.
Epsom salt, Tiger Balm.
Okay. Tiger Balm's the best. Love that stuff.
Laying in certain positions where you're not feeling it. Constantly moving, changing positions, because
Sure.
staying in one position for too long does start to bother it.
Yeah. Tiger Balm. So you said you don't drink, because I know some folks deal with it with alcohol. You don't.
I'm an occasional drinker. I very rarely drink.
Okay, very rarely drink. Okay, so but you don't use it to cope with your pains and things of that nature.
No.
That's a good thing. Okay, good. So it's just that sort of stuff. Have you ever tried any alternative medicines, or as they're calling them, alternative treatments that may be out there? Let's just say like chiropractors or acupuncture or hemp or THC.
I've never, drug-wise, I've never done anything else further than that.
Okay.
I've never used any of that. It's something that from prior childhood that I don't want to deal with. I don't want to mess with.
Sure.
So I stay away from that.
Okay. No, so and that's fair game, completely understood. I've come across some stuff, and I'll just share now, because I was like you. I'm not a big fan of the THC. Never really been. I know when I was younger, I tried it, and when I was younger, I'm talking about in my 20s. Because I didn't do marijuana or any of that stuff in high school, as I was a sport, and I never called my attention, although my buddies did it. There are new products out there that are what they call a THCA, which is the non-psychedelic side of THC that you can use for as ointments. So they have creams and lotions and stuff that you can put on. And I've used it. I've tried it on my knee pains and my lower back. And if it's something you're interested, check it out. You don't have to use it, but it's the non-psychedelic and it doesn't affect you like it was if you were to take a gummy or things of that nature. But those are ointments and stuff that you might do. And some folks that I've talked to that use that as well, who again are not fans of using the psychedelic marijuana, but from a topical standpoint, they'll use that product. And it seems to work for them. And it sometimes works for me. I just sometimes think it's more mental than anything. But it's just a thought, just curious as to what you do, because there's some folks out there, they use hard drugs to try to deal with the pain, to try to deal with the PTSD. And I'm glad you don't have to be in that direction, but I'm sure you're battling those things in your mind, and battling the pains internally like we all are, right?
Yeah.
People
definitely.
look at you and they think, oh, there's nothing wrong with her, but they don't realize you've got a back issue. And they think, oh, she's normal. You got a back issue. That's the problem.
And that's what they train us to push through it. Yeah. So we try to do everything ourselves and keep pushing through it.
A lot of the civilians don't understand. And they look at us and they think, oh, you're fit, you look fine, you're good, there's nothing wrong with you. But they don't realize the musculoskeletal challenges that we face from carrying and rolling and even pushing those 300-pound, 200-pound, what are they called?
The refrigerant bottles, the cylinders,
bottles,
basically,
right?
yeah, the cylinders.
Let me ask a question. Were they the cylinders kind of like what do you call them? The helium tanks? Was it like that? Okay.
Yeah.
Now I got a good understanding of what they look like. Yeah, they can get heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even when they're empty.
I want to say when they're empty. I know full. I think the biggest one we had was like 360 full, and I believe it was like maybe between 150 and 200 empty.
Still good weight.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
And there were some we had to lower them down because there was one of the rooms on one of the ships. It had to be lowered like 3 decks through I don't remember what it's called.
With a rope?
We did. That's exactly what we did.
Really?
There was no other way for us because we were underweight. We couldn't do anything. There was no other way for us to get it down there.
Okay.
We weren't. Our chain of command like no one's allowed in the space in case the rope breaks and it becomes a missile.
Whoa.
So that lid breaks off and
as heavy as it is, it'll destroy anything that's fast.
So we had to hoist it down. We rigged it and hoisted it down. As soon as we saw that it was laying flat, it's like, okay, now we can enter the space and get it where it needs to be.
And now you can lift it.
Oh yeah.
Stand it up so you can roll, right? Yeah, there goes your shoulders, your back, your hands, and things of that nature.
And I've tried massages too to see, but they try to rub out the knots, and it's like, okay, please stop. It's nothing but pain. Please stop.
Much.
Yeah, I'm like, that's a knot you're not going to get out.
Yeah. Ever try chiropractors?
I haven't.
No. Try it.
I should.
Contact the VA, because you do have service-connected injuries, and let them know that you're dealing with your back pains, and we'd love to see if they can assign you to a chiropractor. And they do that. And chiropractors, I love them. I love them. When I feel knots in my back and I'm having a hard time moving, they adjust me, and just that takes place feels amazing. It just feels amazing. And while it only lasts for a few days, that relief that you get is tremendous. It's tremendous, and that's sometimes all you need, right? Because you treat your pains through breathing tips. You treat your pains through ointments. You treat your pains through Motrin. You treat your pains through muscle relaxers. You treat your pains through stretching, through warm baths, through Epsom salt, right? There's all sorts of stuff that we need to do daily, weekly to live. So, but let's talk about what happens at night, right? I don't think we've talked about that. You went through a couple traumatic situations. What's night like been for you?
Well, besides having to use a CPAP for my sleep apnea, this. Any little noise I hear outside, I start falling asleep. I hear a noise, I'm right back up, looking around. It's
always
hard.
On high alert?
Yes, always on high alert. It's hard to fall asleep. I can fall asleep, and 20, 30 minutes later, I'm back up. It's hard to stay asleep. Yeah. I'm always up early, no matter what. Any little noise I hear, like even if it's the kids moving, I'm like, what was that? And jump out and go see what's going on.
Sure.
Make sure, oh my God, was someone in the house? Is there someone there? Lock the doors, make sure they're locked, make sure they stay locked, always.
That's funny because you're not the only one. Myself and every vet I speak to that deals with nightmares, that deals with the high alertness at night. There's always a moment we get up, we check the doors. You know you lock them because it's a routine you probably
Yeah.
have. Like everyone else, it's a
The
routine.
second I walk in the door, I lock the door.
Yes.
Like I very rarely leave that. Like I don't leave them unlocked.
You lock your doors, you check your windows are locked, you double check them before you go to bed, even though you locked them when you got home. And then something triggers you at night that you wake up either through a nightmare or you hear a sound and you go and inspect everything again to go lay down again. So let's talk about some of the nightmares that you deal with, right? If you wherever you feel comfortable, what are some of those like? How do they affect you?
Well, I mean, like waking back up again. I already have trouble staying asleep as it is. To wake up to the nightmares of rethinking everything that's happened. You wake up and it's like you go check to make sure the kids are okay. Check to make sure, again, going around, make sure the doors are locked for the fifth time of the night.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just crazy times. It's crazy, but I'm glad you and I met because I think through our conversations and our interactions, and hopefully this phase 3 video, we get some exposure, right? And at the same time be able to find ways to help you continue to get the treatment that you need because you did serve our country. You earned every bit of it. And wherever you still need some help, again, whether it's a chiropractor, whether it's acupuncture, get the support and the service you need from fellow peers or through the VA, right? So that's the whole purpose. But anyhow, do you have anything else you'd like to share that you might have missed out that you felt would be important from our interview?
Besides those other two incidents, man, it was fun being in this. It was a blast. You meet a lot of good people out there.
You do, right? And
Yes.
let's not make this a downer. You're absolutely right. It's a lot of fun, right? Share some funny stories that if you can about being out there anywhere, whether it was Hawaii, Japan, boot camp. What were some funny stories that have happened to you that you experienced that you want to share with us?
Oh man, that's when most of my drinking happened, was in the fleet. And there was a port. I can't remember. I think we were anchored. The ship was anchored in the middle of the ocean. So you have to get down the ship. You have to get on a speedboat, get to where the shore is, to jump in a taxi.
Okay.
And we did this. I'm off very little sleep because we're engineers. We don't sleep as it is.
Okay.
So very little sleep, very little food. And we go to a bar. And I always tell my buddies, don't let me go to the bathroom twice. So I go to the bathroom the first time. I go to the bathroom. Fine. I come back. Like 20 minutes later, I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom.
You broke the seal.
No, I passed out in the bathroom door.
No way.
I blacked out. I don't know how he got me from the cab or from the bar to the cab,
Okay.
onto the speedboat.
Okay.
And you had to climb up a rope ladder to get up to the ship.
Oh my God.
I don't know how any of this. I don't know how I climbed up this rope ladder.
Wow.
And this whole time I had a tongue piercing in, which for one is illegal. You're not supposed to have that. You're not supposed to have any of this stuff in. I knew to take it out before I blacked out.
Wow.
And I took my piercing out and put it in my backpack.
Wow. Do you think they hoisted you up like you guys
No,
did?
I climbed up. I climbed. I don't know how, but I climbed up that rope ladder and made it somehow.
But
it
you don't
to bed.
remember.
I do not remember.
Wow, that must have been a fun day.
It definitely was.
And you remember which port or where you're at
I
again?
think we may have been in Thailand.
Okay.
May have been Thailand.
So somewhere out there. Okay. Okay. Very
Because
cool.
I think Thailand's one of the cheap suits, right?
I've never been, but
I think one of the places. So I believe it was Thailand because my buddy was looking for a cheap suit.
okay.
And I believe that's where it was. It was so hilarious. I was like, walking around looking for this cheap suit all day long, and end up in a bar and don't remember anything afterwards.
It sounds like a good day.
It really was. It was.
I'm
Really,
sure
it was
we've had this before. They're good days, and we don't remember, but they were good for.
And they had everyone has to fill in the pieces. I remember there was a second. I think we ended up in one of the ports in Japan, and one of the guys was like, "Don't go out drinking with her." And I was like, that day I wasn't feeling good. I was going off like 1 hour of sleep. I'm like, I don't want to go out. I don't want to drink. I don't want to do any of this. I'm like, I do not feel good. And we're like halfway through the night. I'm sitting outside this bar, and I'm like this. I'm like, I told you not to go drinking with her. I was like, I haven't drinking anything. I'm like, I haven't eaten. I'm tired. I told you I didn't want to come out, but you have to go out in this buddy system.
Yeah.
And they relied on me as one of their buddies to go out. I was like,
That's funny. Yeah, good stories. Good stories. Thank you for sharing. Well, Athena, let's start wrapping it up. Before I let you go, I do have a little gift for you. couple of hats for yourself.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, they're Canteen Talks. One of them is the logo, and the other one that says Canteen Talks.
I love them.
Little camouflage. So you're welcome to share them with your boys if you wear them, or post them up somewhere in the home, wherever.
Definitely. I have some selves that look good on.
Very cool. Well, Athena, thank you so much. Your time has been greatly appreciated. Your stories have been amazing. Crazy moments that you experienced, all in one setting from that you shared. It was just absolutely mind blowing for me. But glad you're out here making things happen for yourself, and wishing you the best. And in any way that we can help, or somebody gives us some advice, I will definitely share it with you to continue to hopefully help you take care of your back and some of the challenges that you face when you sleep. Okay.
Sounds good.
Thank you.